Alright guys, in this video we're reacting to some of the most scariest videos that will make you pee your pants and diarrhea. Hit that thumbs up button and let's get straight to the video. Let's go.
Are you brave enough to make it through today's compilation?
Bruh.
You're about to see encounters with inhuman entities, terrifying ghosts, and shadowy figures. These scary videos will make you pit your pants.
No way, man.
น้องสาวให้พี่ไปส่งไหม
In Bandung, Indonesia, two friends were riding late at night for fun when they noticed a woman in the distance. They were curious about why she was alone in the middle of nowhere and slowed down, but that was a mistake. Turns out, she was far from human. Her skin looked grotesque, and her lips were dark. Her eyes were pure white as she stared straight at them, a sight so terrifying it made them scream and speed away as fast as they could. Levitating horror.
Oh my goodness.
In 2018, a man's friends dared him to explore an abandoned house in Bandung, Indonesia. It had been empty for more than a decade, and no one wanted to rent or buy it. While exploring, he discovered why. His flashlight revealed a bone-chilling entity levitating 2 feet above the ground. As he moved the light upward, he came face to face with a horrifying face. Its head was bent backward at an impossible angle. The man thought it was over for him, but he managed to escape, and the entity didn't follow.
Did you see the bear claws though? Bro,
the entity didn't follow.
Look at the bear claws. What are those, bro?
Night visitor.
Oh my god.
For 5 nights straight, a man in Newark, Delaware kept seeing the same entity outside his home. It looked like a girl with a ghostly white face and a white dress. What scared him most was that no one of that age lived in his neighborhood. He finally decided to record her, but things got worse. The entity suddenly began running toward him at an unnatural speed and came face to face with him. He stopped recording to run back inside and hasn't shared any updates since. Possessed woman. After hearing loud screams from a neighbor's home late at night, a man went to investigate. Fearing the residents were in trouble, he broke inside. The house was completely dark as he followed the screams and came across this horrifying sight. A woman was levitating, her hands gripping the ceiling. Something inhuman had clearly taken control of her. Suddenly, she charged toward him while screaming. The man barely managed to escape, and he feared something terrible must have happened to the people who lived there.
Oh my...
Crawling horror. You're about to watch an exploration go very wrong. A man was exploring a house in Oakville, Canada that had been abandoned for 10 years. But a few moments later, this terrifying entity with long hair appeared at the window. It began crawling towards him while shrieking, and the sight immediately sent him running far away from him. He thought it could be one of the previous residents, turned into something truly evil and unnatural. The fact that he uploaded this video is the only proof that he escaped.
Bro, that is...
Dark ritual.
Huh? Huh?
A guy named Shishant Roy from Kolkata, India was exploring an old house and came across this dark ritual. Someone in a dark cloak seemed to be performing dark magic on the man beside the pentagram. Suddenly, the cloaked sorcerer moved toward the man, and Shishant ran out of there. But the next night, Shishant found this creepy woman outside his home with ritualistic objects. It was the same sorcerer without the cloak. She looked up at him, revealing a gray, terrifying face. Shishant realized the sorcerer had followed him, and he might be the next prey. However, he hasn't shared what happened next.
They got him. They got him.
Ghost in Park.
Bro.
This video is a creepy reminder why going out at night is never a good idea. A man had gone to a park and spotted a female ghost. She wore white clothes, just like the ones La Llorona is believed to wear. Her face was ghostly pale, and to his horror, she started running straight towards him. Since such ghosts are known to be dangerous and can even make people vanish without a trace, he ran away before she could reach him.
Bro, look at that, bro! Bro, look at that face. Go
straight
back.
towards him, since such ghosts are known to be
Ah, Jesus.
dangerous and can even make people vanish without a trace. He ran away before she could reach him. Terrifying night visitor. In Springfield, Illinois, a man was haunted by the same demonic entity every night, and once you see it, you'll be haunted too. This time, he managed to capture it on camera to prove he wasn't just schizophrenic. A tall, dark figure appeared in the doorway, its eyes glowing bright white as it stared at him. After a few seconds, it vanished. The entity never entered the room, but the man fears what would happen if one day it did. Forest Pokong.
Huh?
Last year, an explorer heard that a terrifying entity haunted a hotel near the Gunung Loyuser Forest, Indonesia. To see if it was true, he brought a sack of meat as bait, and the entity took the bait. A Pokong appeared in the distance, hovering just above the ground and moving right toward him. When it got too close, he ran back inside, realizing how dangerous this game was, since Pokong are souls trapped in shrouds and can be extremely dangerous. After that, he left the forest the next morning. Haunted
what?
neighborhood.
Oh my God.
In October 2021, a man in Kathmandu, Nepal moved to an old neighborhood where houses were unbelievably cheap and soon discovered why. 2 days after moving in, he began hearing strange noises and found this small shadow banging on the door. It seemed like someone was out there, but when he opened the door, the figure had vanished mysteriously. Since no human could move that fast, he realized it had to be a ghost. Terrified, he ended his contract and decided to move out of the neighborhood immediately.
Bro, that's crazy. Look at that doorknob, though. Huh?
Horrifyingly.
What kind of doorknob is that? Where is he?
Horrifying face. This video shows a man with fear in his eyes, and soon you will see why. Right behind him, there was a terrifying face staring at him. Its features looked human, but something about them was grotesque and horrifying. While recording, the man stayed as calm and still as possible. When facing a demonic entity like this, panicking can end you in dangerous situations, since these entities are known to feed on fear, which is why he survived. Would you have been able to stay calm if you were in his place?
Man, if I would have seen that, oh man, I would have lost it. I would have lost it.
Shadow figure. On the 7th of May last year, a man in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, was walking home late at night when he passed a local 99 Speed Mart, and to his horror, he saw a tall, dark figure in the distance. It looked like a shadowy entity standing completely still, and it seemed to be staring right at him. He didn't get any closer to confirm his suspicions, and hoped that whatever it was would not follow him home.
Wait, that could just be somebody's grandmother. Hold on, go back.
Closer to confirm.
That could just be somebody's grandmother just walking around. Come on now.
His suspicions, and hoped that whatever it was would not follow him home. Terrifying entity.
See? What the?
After a content creator lost his way in a village, he found himself surrounded only by abandoned homes and debris. He began looking for a place to stay the night, not knowing something inhuman was already inside. Did you see it? His camera caught a creepy entity through a window, its face dark and terrifying. He still walked toward the building, unaware, until he came face to face with it. Realizing he was in a very dangerous place, he ran back toward his Jeep with his heart racing. Dark magic gone wrong.
Oh.
The entity you're about to see was once human, but years of dark rituals transformed her into something else. A team of paranormal investigators went to the abandoned neighborhood where she used to live and found her crawling on a roof. Her skin had turned dark gray, and she kept shrieking at them as they tried to approach her. They wanted to see if any human part of her still remained, but since there was nothing left to save, they eventually left her alone. Not human.
Here we go.
You're about to see one of the most frightening encounters ever. In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, a ghost hunter was exploring an abandoned hospital that was shut down after medical malpractice. In one of the wards, he saw someone in a white hospital gown with dark hair. Then it bent its head at an unnatural angle to look at him, and he realized it wasn't human, or at least not anymore. Its face was pale, and its mouth was gaping wide open. The man ran out because despite being a ghost hunter, this encounter was too much. Forest Screecher.
I can't do this.
While a hiker was camping in the Monongahela National Forest, West Virginia, he heard loud screeching sounds at night. They didn't belong to any human or known animal. Despite being terrified, he went to investigate. The sounds led him to a bizarre entity. It was pale and partially hidden behind the trees. The hiker didn't want to discover what kind of monstrosity it was and ran far away, because those sounds were clearly predatory.
Oh.
Floating entity.
Oof. Oh,
In March 2017, a man saw the most bone-chilling entity right outside his home. After hearing strange noises, he looked outside and saw a white form above his truck. Its movements were completely unnatural because it kept floating like it weighed nothing. He tried to stay hidden behind the curtain, but the entity still noticed him. It stared with terrifying glowing eyes and floated right toward him. He
that's the Avatar.
Thought it was over for him, but to his relief, the entity could not enter the house and left him alone.
Oh my goodness.
Neighborhood entity.
I don't know about
In March 2022, a man had just moved into an old neighborhood in Micanopy, Florida for the cheap housing, but only 2 days later, he began hearing strange sounds outside. When he stepped onto his terrace to check, he spotted this bone-chilling entity right outside his house. Did you see it? The entity had dark hair and pale skin, and it was staring at him with bright, glowing red eyes. Even that brief glimpse terrified him so much that he decided to move out as soon as possible. Ghost Girl.
Gotta sell a house.
On the 10th of September, 2020, at around midnight in Salem, Massachusetts, a CCTV recorded this girl in a cemetery. Now, you might wonder why a girl would be there so late. Well, keep watching to find out. She walked toward the gate as if she wasn't completely solid. No human could move like that. After a few seconds,
What? And she just walked through the gate, bruh.
she vanished in a cloud of white smoke like a ghost.
See?
It could be possible she was a spirit who couldn't move to the afterlife. But, as always, you decide.
Guys, right now, tell me, do you believe that? Do you believe that that really happened? She just walked through the gate.
Who could vanished in a cloud solid. No human could move like that.
You can't be, what?
After a few seconds, she vanished in a cloud of white smoke, like a ghost. It could be possible she was a spirit who couldn't move to the afterlife. But, as always, you decide.
I don't know, in my opinion, if you're a ghost and you're getting caught on camera like this, you're not a good ghost. I don't know.
Spirit who couldn't move to the afterlife. But, as always, you decide.
Alright.
Shadow figures. In Portland, Oregon, a man went out for a stroll at night and regretted it deeply. As he passed a building, he noticed these 3 creepy shadows on the wall. But to his horror, there was no one standing there. Then the building's light began flashing mysteriously, and the shadows seemed to vanish too. Believing that building might be haunted, he quickly went back to his apartment and couldn't sleep that entire night.
Yeah, that looked crazy.
Terrifying
oh my
visitor.
goodness.
Ma'am, store's closed, all right? Seriously, you're gonna bruise yourself.
Oh, no way.
This CCTV footage from a store in Savannah, Georgia, shows a woman outside the door. The store was closed, and when she couldn't get inside, her face suddenly turned completely inhuman. Her mouth gaped open like a dark abyss, and her eyes began glowing brightly. Even her neck began moving in strange, jerky ways.
I gotta say, some girls, they do get like this. So this could be 100% real. Some girls, they do get like this, Jay.
Began glowing brightly. Even her neck began moving in strange,
I've seen this face before. Okay.
jerky ways. This entity was clearly furious that it couldn't get in the store to find her prey. When the shop owner reviewed the footage the next day, he was lucky he hadn't been there to witness this.
Okay, nope. What the hell's wrong with your eyes? Oh my God, stop. Oh my God, stop.
Parking lot terror.
The Rolls Royce? Huh? Oh.
In Phoenix, Arizona, a man was walking
that got me.
the parking lot to go to work, but someone was already inside his car. From the front seat, a dark, demonic face stared at him. Its pure white eyes were fixed on him, and it grinned widely, as if happy to have found prey. The man remembered locking his car doors when he returned from work the night before. So if this entity could pass through doors, it could do far worse things too. Terrified, he didn't go to work that day.
This one is too scary. I can't look at it, bro.
Terrifying shadows. This home had been empty and locked for 5 years. But one night, a man living across saw something terrifying. From his balcony, he noticed these mysterious shadows moving on the wall, like someone was swinging back and forth. There were neither swings nor people there. He was so terrified because if the house was empty, then what was causing those shadows? That even after the shadows vanished, fear kept him awake all night. Grotesque entity. This TikTok user was completely unaware of the horror that was about to creep up behind him. Wait for it. A terrifying figure slowly emerged from the shadows. The closer it got, the more disturbing it looked. Its face was grotesque and fleshy, with no clear features at all. When the man finally noticed it, fear overwhelmed him, and he ran because it had been way too close for comfort. Terrifying entity. Last year, a man in Ocracoke, North Carolina, heard rumors about an area in the village so old and haunted that no one dared to go there. One day, he went to investigate the abandoned houses, and his camera captured something terrifying. Look closely. There was a disturbing entity in one of the windows. It looked dark with a creepy, distorted face staring right at him. This was clearly why everyone stayed away. The man was lucky he only noticed it while replaying the footage after he had already left the place safely. Ghost train.
Well, that ain't good.
Here we go.
A man got lost in Bachului Forest and to his surprise, he came across a train track. He thought it might help him find his way out. But it was no ordinary train. It was moving without a driver or any visible engine. The sight already chilled his bones. But then his camera caught something way creepier. As the train passed, a creepy, pale figure could be seen behind it with its head sticking out. He had no idea what it could be, but I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below.
Don't know who's running that, but I mean, yeah, okay.
Hey, just let it go.
Garage intruder. A man went to his garage in the middle of the night after hearing strange sounds. He thought someone had broken in and went to check, but soon realized the culprit wasn't human at all. He noticed movement in the tree and stepped closer, only to see a gray, inhuman face staring back at him. Whatever it was had been trying to hide from him. The terrifying sight made him run back into the house, and when he checked the area the next morning, the entity was gone.
Woo, I would have hit her with a 7-punch combo. Bam, bam. Oof, it would have been over.
And when he checked the area the next morning, the entity was gone. Ceiling entity. A woman kept hearing footsteps in her ceiling and finally decided to film her attic. And what she found there was a nightmare. Someone was staring down at her. She called the police for help, but they couldn't find anyone up there. They said it must have been an intruder who left before they could arrive, but the homeowner swore it hadn't looked human at all. So, do you think it was a supernatural entity?
I don't see nothing.
Shadow Man.
You see that?
Yo.
A man in Covington, Kentucky got the fright of his life when he looked outside his house. There was a person's shadow moving on the snow, but he could not see anyone there to cast it. And it didn't look like a trick of light either. He realized he was looking at a shadow man. Since encountering such entities can have bad consequences, such as sleep paralysis, he didn't dare step outside, even hours after the shadow had disappeared.
You look like a shadow.
Man, that look crazy.
Watchful eye.
What?
You look like a shadow.
watchful eye.
Yo, what?
A man was exploring an old building that had been abandoned for years after a natural event left it in ruins. But soon, he had a terrifying encounter. He noticed a pale face staring at him with one wide eye through the gap in the doorframe. He slowly walked closer to see who it was, but there was no one. That's when he realized what he had seen might have been a ghost, and those who were lost during the event were still stuck there, haunting the place.
Man, I promise you, if I would've seen this, I would've lost it. Oh my goodness, what?
To see who it was, but there was no one. That's when he realized what he had seen might have been a ghost.
That looked like this, what? That looked like, bruh.
And those who were lost during the event were still stuck there, haunting the place. Terrifying churrail. Some men went to a remote area in Mayong village, India, where many people were rumored to go missing. After exploring the place, they finally understood why. In the distance, they saw a churrail in a red dress. It had gray skin, and its eyes were glowing bright red. They cautiously moved closer. The men wanted to trap it, but the churrail was too terrifying for them to handle. They realized it could easily add them to the long list of missing people, so they decided to leave it alone. Floating jinn.
She was dancing though.
On the 12th of June, 2019, a man was driving home in Al Khalil, Saudi Arabia, when a terrifying sight stopped him in his tracks. A dark figure was floating in the air high above the ground, and its form looked eerily humanoid. The scariest part was that this place was only a few kilometers from Wadi Jinn, a mysterious valley which is believed to be a hub for paranormal activity and jinn encounters. That's why he believed it was one of those jinn. Luckily, it didn't do anything dangerous, and he slowly drove right under it.
That could have been a plastic bag. That was probably a plastic bag flying through the air.
And he slowly drove right under it. Car ghoul.
Now this, I don't know what this is.
When a man was driving home in Costa Rica, he had the most terrifying encounter of his life. He noticed a strange movement in the car ahead, and a pale, terrifying figure was staring at him through the rear windscreen. It had a narrow face with glowing eyes. Fear overtook him when he realized it looked like a ghoul. Not wanting to imagine what else might be in that car, he changed his route as soon as he could.
Woo! I would have crashed the car looking at that. I would have been looking at that. Boom! Crashed it by accident.
What else might be in that car? He changed his route as soon as he could. Ghostly figure. This terrifying CCTV from Market Lane in Blundeston, England, shocked everyone in the area. In the distance, a white shape slowly materialized out of nowhere. The most terrifying part was that it didn't seem fully solid. The watchmen who had been monitoring the screens live were convinced it was a ghost, and now they fear patrolling that area at night.
Listen, like I said, if you're a ghost and you're getting caught on camera like that, you're doing a disservice to the ghost people and the ghost culture.
Convinced it was a ghost, and now they fear patrolling that area at night. Ghost in white. In 2019, homeowners in Patterson, Los Angeles had to call the police immediately when they caught this on their home security camera. It was a figure in white slowly walking down the hallway. However, police realized this wasn't a human intruder. Former FBI agent Ben Hansen and his team came in to investigate the scene and revealed that since no one had entered the house and all doors were locked at that time, this was a ghost. This terrifying footage even aired on Travel Channel's Ghosts of Morgan City.
Huh?
Junkyard Ghost Girl. This terrifying video from 2019 shows a man walking towards an old bus in the junkyard. He was looking for parts to repair his own vehicle, but as he was examining it, he saw an unsettling face in the window. It looked like a girl with hair covering part of her face, and she was staring right at him. He thought it could be a homeless girl. When he went inside, the bus was empty. Fear overwhelmed him when he realized it had been a ghost, and he left without taking what he had come for.
That is so sad. That's like a... That's so sad. She's stuck in the bus.
Dark forest stalker.
That's sad, bro.
Camping couldn't have gone more badly for this guy. He thought he was alone inside Bangar Forest, India, but soon noticed another presence. A supernatural one. There was a dark figure in the distance staring at him. Its face was ghostly white with no clear features. Fear overwhelmed him so much that he left his belongings behind and ran. But wherever he went, the entity seemed to follow. It seemed like there was no way to escape it, but he finally managed to reach his car safely. Ghost Boy. A paranormal explorer, Ibrahim al-Salti, went into one of the most haunted buildings in Amman, Jordan, and soon found out why it had earned that reputation. In the distance, he noticed what looked like a little boy. He was shocked to see a boy in such a haunted building and went after him, only to find out it hadn't been human at all. The boy had vanished without a trace. Ibrahim realized it was a ghost. He wondered why it had taken the form of a boy and if it was connected to the building's dark history.
It's so sad when ghosts are just like, they're just there. It's sad. I don't know.
Stalker. In Wilmington, Delaware, a man woke up to strange noises at night, so he got up to check and saw a creepy dark figure peering at him from behind a rack. It wasn't human or animal. Despite being scared, he walked closer, but the figure slipped behind the rack. When he looked, he was shocked to find only wires, but his soul nearly left his body when the same entity appeared behind the curtain, its eyes glowing faintly. The man ran back to his room, and by morning, the entity was gone. Hallway shadow.
He just keeps staring down the hall like he sees someone.
On the 20th of August, 2022, a woman noticed her dog looking stressed in the middle of the night. It kept staring down the hallway, and the reason was terrifying. A tall shadow appeared in the dark. It was as tall as a human and vanished after a few minutes. The woman has never been able to explain this event, and now her dog avoids that hallway completely.
Huh?
What was that?
You better go down that hallway now.
What was that?
Locked floor mystery. You need to see this creepy video. A man recorded a strange figure through a window. It looked like a man in vintage clothes. Here's the twist. The cameraman had recently rented a room in that building, but he was told the entire floor was completely locked at that time. So if those rooms were off limits, who in the world was that? Comment your thoughts below.
That's
Ghostly
crazy,
intruder.
bro.
A man in Byron Bay, Australia, was walking home from the grocery store and discovered someone or something had broken in. Through the vision panel, he saw a ghostly entity. He clearly remembered locking all doors and windows. Not even the locks were tampered in, so no human could have entered. The chilling face stared at him for a few moments, then vanished without a trace, confirming his worst suspicions. Parking lot ghost. On the 14th of December last year, a man was sitting peacefully in the hospital's parking lot, unaware of what was about to happen. Around 2 a.m., a tall, white, semi-transparent figure ran towards him, stopping just behind him. The man immediately looked around, sensing another presence. He looked around and got up to search the area, but was really disturbed when there was no one to be seen. And why wouldn't he be? After all, hospitals have long been linked to countless horror stories of lingering spirits and ghosts. What would your reaction be at that moment? Grieving bride. This video shows a creepy, pale figure walking in the distance, and the story behind it will haunt you. In Charleston, South Carolina, a woman couldn't bear the grief when the man she was to marry abandoned her on their wedding day. Since then, her ghost still haunts the entire neighborhood. One night, a watchman spotted her wandering the area, still wearing her wedding dress. Terrified, he kept his distance from the grieving ghost, fearing it encountering her would bring him bad luck. Haunted doll. A TikTok user recorded a disturbing video inside her home, and viewers are now really worried for her. The doll inside her cupboard was moving its legs on its own. She had bought it just 2 days ago from a thrift store, and it didn't even have a battery, so there was no logical reason for it to move. Her viewers warned her it might be haunted and told her to throw it out. The woman hasn't shared what she did with it. Subscribers
Oh,
pick
what is that?
going down Clinton Road in New Jersey is not for the faint of heart, since it's filled with stories of ghosts, and these videos prove it. While driving, a man noticed an unsettling gray figure standing by the roadside. It clearly looked like a ghost, so he didn't dare stop and sped away. After uploading the video, a biker shared an even more terrifying encounter on the same road. He saw a woman riding ahead, but when she turned her face towards him, it wasn't human at all. Her skin was ghostly white, and her mouth was stretched into a terrifying smile, as if
I would have passed out if I would have seen that.
she had found prey. The biker lost his balance in fear.
See?
Would you dare explore this road? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bro, that honestly scared me. That just seeing those faces with those glowing eyes, bro, that is too much for me, bro. Like, if you're gonna see more crazy videos just like this, click this video right up here. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace. Alright, guys. That's the end of the video. Some of this is too much for me. If you want to see more videos just like this, click one of these videos right up here. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.